record. What is up, Internet? Welcome back. I know it's been a while. Life got crazy. Bunch of things I had to do around here. Kawhi's been super busy with work and just life. And, shit happens. Isn't the first time, hopefully the last, but you never know. Hope you missed us. Missed doing this. And as always, with me is Kawhi Boy Girl. How are you?
I wasn't really busy. I was angry over no Fire Emblem news.
Yes. As you all are well aware, E3 just passed last week. So we got a bunch to go over with that. All the announcements, all the disappointments, all the excitement, which, spoiler alert, there isn't much between the two of us. And we've been playing
I was
a
about to
bunch of
say all the
games.
disappointments is about the entire event.
Yeah, basically. So, did you want to start off with E3 first, or what we've been playing? Because both are probably going to
What
take a
we've been
minute.
playing.
Very well. Well, I'll start it off because I've been playing a bunch of stuff. So, as you all are well aware, two games I've been very, very, very excited about came out the 11th, both on the same day, which is Guilty Gear and Ratchet. We'll start with Guilty Gear because it's the one I played the least amount so far. But everything still holds true from the beta. It is fantastic. One of the better fighting games to come out in recent memory. Probably the best fighting game, in my opinion, to come out since Dragon Ball Fighters, which is just another Arc Systems game. So, Arc Sys is just on a fucking roll right now. The game is beautiful. It is fluid. The rollback netcode is probably the best in the industry when it comes to fighting games. Like the literally the only qualm I have with that game is the fact that it takes like literally 2 minutes to load into the game on a PS5. So I hope it's like the same, because if it's actually worse on a PS4, dear God. Like, I don't know why it takes so long to connect to their servers, but it's rough. Like, it's even actually a meme at this point. Because even if you want to play offline, you still have to connect to their server to just get into the main part of the game. So, no matter what, you're waiting. But, as I said, I've only played maybe 4 hours, which half of that time was spent in practice mode and just getting into character because of Ratchet. I got into the game late. Like, I pre-ordered them both months ago, and excuse me, when they both dropped, I said I'll get into Ratchet because that'll be a quicker thing, because it's not procedural game. It's not something I have to put time into. So it's not a fighting game. I don't have to practice at it. I just play it, have fun, get what I get out of it, and move on. Whereas in Guilty Gear, I will probably be playing for the next few foreseeable years, because that's just how fighting games work. And so I didn't get much time into it. It took me a little bit longer to beat Ratchet than I thought, and I got into it about a week late, got my ass kicked a bit, and I was like, all right, no, let me get back into the lab and actually put down some time, and got into it. Now I have a positive record. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic game. Nagoriyuki is my favorite. His blood rage is a bit iffy still. He's a character you really have to pay attention to, or you find yourself in a heap of trouble, because literally you use just a few special moves, you're not paying attention, there goes literally half of your life bar. Like, whatever percentage you're at, you lose half of whatever that is. So if you're already under half, like, you're going down to nothing. Like, a literally like 2-hit combo will kill you if you're not paying attention and that blood rage hits. So it's a bit rough. But, as I said, still learning, still practicing. I put about at least a half hour a day at least into training when and if I can. Maybe a few online matches, but that's about it. And then back roll to Ratchet and Clank. Easily, at the moment, my game of the year. So much fun. Absolutely fantastic game. It's not God of War. It's, at this point, not even Horizon or Spider-Man, but that's not a bad thing because they're so completely different. Like, you can't say, oh my God, it's not God of War. It's not meant to be God of War. It's not trying to sit here and tell you a beautiful, touching story about a father and son coming across, Greek, no, not Greek, but Norse gods and monsters trying to fight their way to scatter their mother ashes.
Yeah,
mother and wife.
The Greek gods are all dead except like what was it, Athena?
Yeah, fair enough, they are dead. So that's another reason why. But it's just a nice, fun tale. Fantastic weapons. I played in performance RT mode, so performance ray tracing, so I still got the 60 frames and the nice reflections, but wasn't bogged down. And like I, you could not tell me back in the day that all the PC was raving 60 frames. If it's not 60, it's not shit. And I'm like, go look at God of War. Oh my god, I have yet to go back and play Last of Us Part Two or God of War in 60 frames, but I'm so fucking excited because I can't see myself going back. It's such a game changer. It just feels so much more fluid. But it just, in general, the game is gorgeous. Easily the best looking non-realistic game ever made. The voxels are pretty. The particle effects are awesome. There's a lot of shit going on screen. Outside of I think once or twice did I see any kind of hiccups, like graphical hiccups. Obviously, it's a newer game and day one patch don't fix everything. I had a few T poses of random NPCs around the map, a few glitches of dialogue uh, reoccurring, like right after it said it. Just little things, but nothing like game immersive breaking. The weapons, as Insomniac is known for, are just a ball. Just use them all, get them to level 5, and they change how they look and how they fire. Overall, it's easily my game of the year over Returnal at the moment. We'll see what the end half of the year brings. I don't. You're a gamer. You've probably seen it. That's what everyone's been ranting and raving. Game of the year at the moment. Even the Xbox fanboys who still have PS5s are saying it. Like it's a really good game. It's just a bunch of fun. Is it worth what everyone's charging now? The whole $70 for me? Yeah, I had fun. Beat the shit out of it. Played it basically damn near twice all the way through, and had a bunch of fun. Platinum did within a week. Like it's all I wanted to play. So that's all I played. I had a bunch of fun with it. So, and then what I played a little bit more Pokemon Snap. It's not what I really wanted out of a new Pokemon Snap, as in it takes a really long time to get all the items that allow you to do what you could do within like the first two biomes of the original Pokemon Snap. Like I just want to go through a thing, throw an apple at a Charmander, have it hit lava, and for whatever reason evolve him all the way into Charizard. Excuse
Instead
me.
of dying horrifically.
Instead of dying horrifically, and fly up for me to take a picture. And at the
Well,
moment, I'm stuck doing nothing.
I think they did that to just because the first Pokemon Snap you could beat in like an hour. I think they did this to at least make the game feel like there's more to it.
Oh yeah, they said that from all the reviews I listened to and watched said it. They did it for padding. Like the game feels a lot longer because of, the levels of the biome you can do. Like I'm on level 3 of the first biome, which means I've gone through it like 6 times already, and I haven't even gotten to like the third biome just because I'm trying to get all the Pokemon I can out of it and not have to come all the way back again. But more than likely, the reason why I'm not getting the really good photos is because I haven't progressed enough through the actual stories for me to come back and throw the apples for the Torchic to burn, or the I think it's Score Bunny, to burn and get the really like 4-star diamond picture there. And but I'll get into it a little bit. Like I'm trying. Like it's been in the back of my mind. Like hey, get in there and beat Pokemon Snap. I played a little bit of. When I say a little bit, I mean like literally like 2 hours of the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, because they released, I want to say, the Crimson Falcon Ryu and the Blue Phoenix Chun-Li Rangers, and they're a bunch of fun. They're cool. I still really like that game. Is it the best fighting game ever made? No, it's by far not even close to the worst. It's just a nice little Marvel. It's Marvel, baby, but with Power Rangers. So that's a bunch of fun. And then just your typical standard, you come to me every week and I say, been playing I can't say a bunch. I played some Smite. New God was released. Morgan Le Fay. She's okay. Some Call of Duty. Trying to get more diamond guns so I can get this dark matter. It's a trog. Like it's hard. There's just certain ways they want you to play with certain guns that aren't typically my playstyle and are taking me really long, because even with me switching it up, like basically up until now I've been a camper because I've been doing long range guns, the LMGs, the tactical rifles. So I'm sitting behind a box and shooting at you because it's not fun trying to run around with those guns, not for me personally. And now I'm on to my SMGs. Well, I've been done with my Milano, a certain SMG, for about a week and a half, and I still have one category I just cannot get. Running around, camping in corners of rooms, camping at a door, like it's close, like literally you have to be touching them kills, and it's just I think I'm at like 53 out of 75, so I'm a lot closer than I was 2 weeks ago, but I'm still like I played for a little bit tonight with my wife and got none, and running around using basically nothing but the Milano outside of 2 matches where I was tired of trying to fucking get it and using a pistol. But still, it's been really annoying. Anything else? Touches of GTA, just trying to get my not guns, my free cars from the podium. Running a few missions with my younger brother, and just, you know, what do we do? What am I doing? I don't know. Let's go drive around in GTA. We've been doing that. No Dragon Ball Fighters because Strive came out. Did I download anything? I think that might be it. Like the big hitters for me have been Strive and Ratchet. I haven't even been playing that much Apex. I think I touched that. I can't even tell you. I can't even say it's like a legit handful. I think maybe 3 times within the last month for like an hour a piece.
Do a few duels, so there's that.
Oh, yes. Oh, I did forget about that. I have gotten more back in, if you will, into Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a specific deck that came out. It's not even out yet, but the program we use, EDO Pro, any of you who are interested in Yu-Gi-Oh, is a free program you can download off of Discord. You just look up EDO Pro, their channel on Discord, and
It
it's a
used to
link.
be YGO Pro, but don't download anything named YGO Pro now.
Yeah, yeah, they'll get you. They'll get you good. But it's a free program with every single card in existence for free. And I said the new deck that came out isn't out in actual print. It probably won't be for a few months, just because that's how Konami works. They announce cards, and then the next set comes out in a month or 2 or 3 months. So this gives you time to not spend hundreds of dollars on building a deck you might not like. Obviously, since it has every single card, you can build anything you want, test it out against real people or computer uh, AI. The really shitty AI, like they're programmed to be dumb for you to try to get your combos off. Which I also found is really annoying because a lot of the meta decks you would fight on the AI also use a bunch of cards that are banned now, and they haven't switched it. So every time I try to pick anything, it's I have too many of this, too many of that. I can't face actual meta decks because they're not fixed. So I'm end up fighting the Horus deck, which is just normal summon 2,000 monsters and sit on Mirror Force, and no one plays Mirror Force anymore. So I'm sitting there with a field of monsters ready to attack, trying to negate monster effects and getting pub stomped by this old ass deck. It's terrible but funny. But anyway, a new deck came out called Flunderies. Bunch of birds. They like to normal summon and stop people from special summoning, which like every meta deck besides them is just nothing but special summoning. So having a monster that stops effects when they're special summon, having a counter trap that stops a special summon, and then being able to normal summon on my opponent's turn and being able to tribute their monster, not even monster, they actually have a spell card that allows you to tribute a card on each side. So I have to tribute a monster that goes to the graveyard, but then I contribute anything on their side of the field. Spell trap, field spell, it doesn't matter. So it's a lot of fun. Needs I think a little bit more support. I think it needs some spell and trap removal. I run Harpy's Feather Duster, which is now at 1, thank God. And a bunch of ways to draw into it, so if there's any like real hard back row deck, I can get that shit out of the way before I start doing all my stuff. So, but yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's actually been a lot of fun, been on my mind, and I play that actually probably once a day, just running through and keeping up on Flunderies, because if the world ever goes back to normal and they're not super hella expensive, I might actually pick them up and start running my locals. Because this is a deck I haven't enjoyed a deck this much probably since Drytron came out, and I actually like this. They're probably like my top 3 deck of all time. Like I really like Burning Abyss, but that's a second to Cyber Dragon. So it's Cyber Dragon, Burning Abyss, and then probably Flunderies. Like you do not see a deck oriented around normal slash tribute summoning like ever nowadays. It's all about outside of Monarchs, which are old and haven't gotten support in like 3 years. So, but you never see them anymore. It's all special summon this, exceed summon that, link summon. Like a bunch of the exceed monsters getting support by a bunch. I really mean Utopia's gotten a bunch of support lately, and I mean a bunch. But still, it's exceeds and links and a lot of decks want special summon Dragma, Dogmatica. What's that? There's another. Everything else is special summoning outside of this deck, basically, that I run into. So it's a breath of fresh air in what has been a stale-esque game. So, yeah, that was a bunch right there. Like, I've basically been talking for 15 minutes straight about just shit I've been playing, and I didn't want to take up too much time, so there's that. What about you, Quiet? Been a month. What have you been playing?
So on PlayStation, I've been getting a lot of
Oh,
Goddess Indian.
oh, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Feels pretty nostalgic to be honest, and
You were breaking up just a tad bit there. You've been playing a what? A lot of what?
a lot of Search and Destroy on
Search and
Cold
Destroy.
War, and it's
Okay,
been feeling really nostalgic.
nice.
Besides that, on my PlayStation, I've done like some Uno every now and then. Nothing really fast about
Ooh.
Call of Duty. It just fucking blows. But you know, Uno's fun. It's literally my go-to when I don't know what to fucking play.
Fair enough.
Until like recently, where I got mad and deleted it, but then instantly re-downloaded it.
Been there,
I've
done
done
that.
some Watchdog Legion here and there. I've there was like stuff announced at like E3 for it, but I wasn't playing it because of that. I was playing it because it's still just like fun to fuck around in.
Oh, I get that. That's me and GTA. Ain't new shit. Like literally in the last week, they haven't even changed the podium car. It's just go in there to bullshit.
I haven't done anything on Xbox. I haven't done anything about with my VR headset. I haven't really even touched the list of games I made that I need to beat at all. It's just still just there.
Fair enough.
I haven't bought any new games really though, so there's that.
Okay.
Uh, on my Switch, I'm not playing Pokemon anymore. I'm just waiting until Blood Diamond and Pearl Jam come out. Uh, let's see. I want to touch Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's like the only game I'm like, I could still play more of that.
All right. All right. Oh,
During
continue. When you're done, I there's a game that completely blew past what I've been like blew past even Ratchet in terms of me been playing like crazy. But my
I was
apologies.
I was gonna complain about what I should use. I shouldn't use this time to complain about what I wanted from E3 and Nintendo right now, so wait for later. I've gotten more Ryzen.
I was about to ask, have you
Gone
got?
up like a hunter rank 5 now, and the story ends at like 50 something. So it's getting there slowly.
Chunking it out. I get it. I get it.
I just, I have a group, and we're at this point where it's been so long, so we're like, yeah, we could probably play by ourselves, but I just need to get on farm money because I'm in world. I mained for the most part Gunlance toward the end,
Okay.
but I didn't like how the Gunlance felt in Rise, so I went back to the first thing I mained, heavy bowgun, and I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this, and now I've been using a light bowgun, and I've
Okay.
really been enjoying it.
I've been really,
But
really thinking about getting it. There's so much more to play.
yeah, it's a lot of Monster Hunter is a lot of time.
Yeah. A lot of
Like
grinding.
you had, I had like 400 hours in the world, and and I said, and I think I might have passed you in like not like hunter rank, but like
I think
master rank. So
maybe I could load it up at some point, but I think I was at like 420 hours at like Hunter rank. I'm not even fucking sure. That shit went out the window a long time ago. But yeah, you and uh, you and Moogle had a crazy run there where you surpassed me on master rank for quite a bit. I don't think I ever caught up,
you
but still.
fucking passed me by a long shot. We were playing that shit together. I was like having to play that shit by myself just to try to keep up with her.
So yeah, as I said, I've been thinking about it, but between Strive and the game I'm going to talk about when you're done, and then a few other games I downloaded to try that I would like to beat. I have a bunch. I have a bunch to try to get through before the fall season comes through and starts rolling up my time, sitting trying to play old shit to get on the new shit. So
There are a
just a
few
thought.
games this month I do want to buy, so that's gonna be annoying. I might just break my list rule and add more shit I'm not gonna finish to the pile.
Fair enough. I'm still trying to get through a bunch of games so I can get to XCOM, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just keep pushing XCOM back until I get through this, and lo and behold, I've added two more games in front of
I am
XCOM.
almost done though, because speaking about XCOM, moving over to my PC where I've been playing most of my shit nowadays, I've been playing XCOM 2, and
No.
I've been enjoying it. Uh, it's been filling the I want to play Fire Emblem, but I'm trying not to play more
You keep
Fire
cutting
Emblem, so
out
I'm
there.
playing XCOM instead. No,
Okay.
uh, I
I
I
caught the
was saying
tail end of
that yeah,
that.
I'm trying to play XCOM 2 as a way to keep me from playing Three Houses.
Okay, when we get into
So I've been
E3, there's something I want to bring to your attention about your fixation about needing more Fire Emblem that I'm not sure if you've seen or know. But either way,
I've been yeah, I loaded up
you loaded up and
just because I'm excited for what the new soccer game
you loaded up
and
Stalker.
Chernobyl.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking shit. Stalker Shadow
Last
great
thing I
fucking
heard was
game
Stalker
that is held
Shadows.
together by fucking duct tape. Oh yeah, Shadows of Chernobyl.
It was held together by duct
Fucking
tape.
yeah, yeah. Been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac like always. Uh, like I said, I 100%ed one save. I think I mentioned that last time.
Yes. And you were trying to contemplate
So
to duplicate it
I,
and or just run through.
I I'm not.
Come on, Discord.
Uh, just randomly do shit.
Very well.
And I opened Omori this morning, but I went to the mall instead.
The hell is a Mori?
Uh, so Omori is a game that was in development for a long fucking time that got released. And, it's not as that recently anymore, but it was a game that was on Kickstarter for like forever. It finally got released in like the December 25th, 2020. I wouldn't say it was development hell, but it was the first game that was made by someone who doesn't make games, so they overwhelmed themselves.
Oh,
But I've
probably.
always heard nothing but good things about it
Okay. Well, it's
because
always
like
rough.
I think it started in like development in like 2014, maybe even before that. Like someone had a really good idea for a game, but you just can't like it,
Can't just make a game.
it's not like usually when you're first making games, people start with like the indie, more like I guess this is still an indie game, but like more flash game type stuff until you get used to it. Like the
Yeah.
person who made Binding of Isaac did a lot of flash games and stuff before actually like well even the first Binding of Isaac was a flash game, but yeah, they just you shouldn't tackle a full head-on game with hundreds of features and shit like that as your first go, and it worked out, but never do it.
Hey, some people have that drive. All it would do is drive me insane trying to do that amount of shit.
I
But
I can't exactly say what the game's about because I like I said I booted it up for a single minute. I just heard a lot of good things, and the art looks cute,
all right,
and I'm a sucker for cute art.
very well, very well.
I wish I actually had more to play. Like it doesn't seem a lot.
Doesn't seem a
Like
lot.
the most time I put into something was probably yeah. The most time I put in a game during this entire month was maybe 5 hours of XCOM 2.
Oh wow,
That isn't like Call of Duty
fair
because
enough.
like how stressed I've been with work and everything. I just
It happens. It definitely happens. I get that. I really thought I had more to talk about, but I omitted a really big thing. But it's
I'm done
nostalgia
now. If you
kick.
want to jump back on that,
Oh, it's Nocturne HD remaster. Like I'm not nearly as far as I thought I would be, but farther than I expected. Like I thought I'd be a much closer to end game than I am, but with 5 children, a wife, and birthdays, and demoing my bathroom and fixing my shed and other things, I'm still a lot farther than I thought. Like I got the game, started playing it. I'm like, okay, I could probably be here by this amount of time, and then birthday party and other party to go to, and kids this and wife that, and shed and bathroom and just life. And so expected to be here, but then all that shit started coming up, so I was like, oh, I'm probably only gonna get here, and I'm a lot closer to here than I thought. Like I'm not there, but I'm close. I'm probably. I think the last time I looked at the game counter was 24 hours in, level 53, and a decent amount of demons, and met most of the final boss cast. Because if spoiler alert coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the humans you meet at the beginning of the very beginning of the game, your not girlfriend, but your friend who is a girl, your friend who is a boy, your teacher, Hikawa, the guy who's weird in a chair, and then the guy at the terminal. Well, the guy at the terminal, he something happens to him, so he's not there. But those are the four mainline bosses of the end game. Like literally, each one of them is a final boss. But how the game works, if you pick the first one, you don't fight at all, and that's game over. End of your game, you get an ending. You don't agree, you fight that person, they die, you move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. Those are the four main endings. And then if you say no to all four, you fight quote unquote God, and you can either accept God and do its path, Kagasuchi, in the game, and if you don't, well, then you fight him, you kill him, and then you get the final secret, true ending of Nocturne 3. And obviously, of course, because hopefully I can cheese it how you can by just saving at each point, or at least saving right here and then having to redo the fight. You have to see all the endings to get the platinum. I would very much like this platinum. So, it's looking like I'm going to have a lot of time, because to do that easily, the final time I save before all those boss fights, I should probably be max level. And that's going to be a lot of grinding, so. But it's everything I hoped for. They changed nothing. It looks a little smoother, and a few quality of life changes. Not as much mana is needed. There's a few more, like they upped the rarity of mana supply items. As I said, they polished it up. It's not a complete redo or remake. It's just a remaster. You can really see how, I'm like, this doesn't look too much better, right? Like, this is how I remember the game. And then they go to like, not a static, but a little bit of like the short cutscenes that they have that are still like from old school PS2, and you're like, oh shit, this game is fucking beautiful outside of this cutscene compared to this, because it's a literal PS2 graphics sitting on my 4K screen. I'm like, oof. Okay, so they put a little more work than I thought they did. So the game is actually gorgeous for what it actually is. I'm surprised they didn't try to up-res or fix those short cutscenes, like the disparage between where they actually touched up and what I said that they didn't is like a lot. Like, it's really weird, that choice, but it's still a decent looking game. Like, it holds up all the way in 2021, just for the sheer fact of the cell shading and art direction that it went. It just holds up. It's still a very nice game. If you like Persona, I very much recommend this game. It is basically the forebear to Persona 3, 4, and 5. Like, the whole negotiation system, getting demons to join you, like, a lot of it stems from this specific game. It's kind of annoying because the remake itself was 40, and then I had to spend an extra 5 to get the true game, like the original game I played, the one I have in my cabinet for PS2, because I totally forgot about this. The original one that came out was, the full game, and then Dante was the special guest character. Like, that's who you could recruit. You could get Dante on your team. That's what made me actually buy the game. Like, had no idea what the fuck Shin Megami Tensei was. I knew when I talked to the guy across the counter, he's like, the best I can describe is like an adult Pokemon with a story, and you're recruiting demons instead of, Pokemon. I was like, alright, cool. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, Dante from Devil May Cry is in the game. Like, give it to me. Fell in love with the game. Loved it ever since. I forget when or why. I don't know if it was like a GameCube or a few years later update. Whatever. Another version came out, or maybe it was the Japanese one, that had the guy from Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner series. It looked like a train conductor with a whistle in place of Dante, and I was like, I don't want that. And that's what the standard HD version comes with. You have to buy the Manix pack, which is another $5 add-on to, turn it back to have Dante. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna play it, I want to play the fucking one I like. I want Dante, so. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. It still holds up. Replaying it again, I really think it's getting really, really hard. My top 10 might be changing back. Like, I really like Persona 5, but I really fucking like Nocturne. And it has Dante. Like, it's a really good game. I very, very much enjoy it. And as I said, if you like the Persona series, if you don't mind a bit slower paced of a game, and obviously it's not as pretty, not as stylish. Obviously, it came out in 2004, but I still highly recommend it. I very much enjoyed it. I'm very much enjoying it as much as I did back in the day. So, can definitely recommend for JRPG fans. That's the game I admitted. So, that's all what I've actually been playing. So you
This is
ready?
gonna sound really out of there, but I really want Cheez-Its now, and I don't know why.
That is very random. So let's just move straight on into it. Let's talk about E3. And as
It
for
was
me
bad. See you
personally,
next week.
okay, bye. I mean, no, like, me personally too. Just eh, big ant. Let's just throw the elephant in there, like Nintendo. Nintendo had one thing I give a shit about. Period. Okay, I can't say period. One thing I'm like, oh my god, yes, I cannot wait. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And that is the game I just talked about. Sequel, sequel after sequel, because 4 was on the DS, but Shin Megami Tensei 5. Super excited. I love the series. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, as you just heard, is one of my favorite games of all time, along with the Persona 5. Persona 5 Royal. Like, I just like those games. I like their art style. I like the stories that they tell. I'm very much in love with the design of their demons, Jack Frost, Jack O' Lantern, all of them. I just very much enjoy that series. So that was like the only thing I'm like, yes, give it to me. Give it to me now. I really, honestly, would rather be able to play it on my PlayStation instead of staring at the damn Switch. But still, having it portable will hopefully be nice. But still, other than that, Nintendo didn't have shit for me. Metroid Prime, what was it? Dread looks kind of interesting, but I'm not the biggest Metroidvania guy. Like, I do enjoy some of them, but eh, we'll see. No Bayonetta 3. No news about Pokemon. But the game I did want to bring your attention because I don't know if you. Advanced Wars. I'm surprised you're not really excited for Advanced Wars. Because it's literally
It's
just.
not the same.
It's not the same, but it's still really good. I mean, it's the same turn based combat. Like, it legitimately is like. It's just military Fire Emblem. It's exactly what it is. Like,
If I settled for the closest I'd get instead of the actual real thing, I'd have stopped playing
fair enough.
certain games a long time ago.
Fair
Never
enough.
settle, demand more.
Well, you can demand more, but hopefully, like XCOM, it can get you to your next Fire Emblem game that is probably at this point, at the rate Nintendo is dropping shit, like, you might legitimately be like 3, 4 years away from another Fire Emblem of any kind. Yeah, that's a lie. You might get lucky and get Fire Emblem Warriors too.
I no, I would. I love the Warriors games. I'd fucking take it. I'd fucking gladly take that. I know some people wouldn't. I was actually hoping for like some shit uh like they'd bring Awakening and Revelations to like Switch, or they'd bring Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to Switch, something like that. Because in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, as Pokemon is you always have like the updated console, and in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you have a fucking Switch in the game, but it's not on Switch.
And I doubt it ever will. If it does, it might be like next year or the year after if they don't have Pokemon, whatever the next main line is after Sword and Shield. Just because, like, if they were going to port it, Diamond and Pearl would not be coming out. So I knew that wasn't going to happen. And I'm not sure if we're going to get another mainline Pokemon game because I don't know if Legends Arceus counts. But we didn't get shit else on that. I don't care about Mario Golf. Like, it looks cute and fun. I might get it for me and the wife and the kids to play on the big screen.
I
That
think the
might be fun.
mainline, well, usually the the remaster for like the gen, and then they'll move on to like the next thing. So technically, I think Blood Diamond and Pearl Jam's the quote unquote mainline right now.
Maybe it's very possible, but yeah, Nintendo dropped the ball for me because I don't give a shit. I mean, and then they ended with Breath of the Wild 2 with a little bit of gameplay. It looks literally just like Breath of the Wild 1, except now you can also be in the sky a bit more. Which, don't get me wrong, as everyone loves to point out to me and say I'm crazy, like, I am not the biggest fan of Breath of the Wild style for a Zelda game. Open world games and physics based, yes, is fantastic. You know, everyone gets so creative and wants to do all that. That's not one. I don't really care for that type of thing in an open world anyway, so that's whatever. But I want my linear dungeon. So I'm really hoping the next time they show off that game, they're like, look, you can do all this crazy shit that you all really, really loved in Breath of the Wild, but we heard you about the four sacred beasts being literally the same fucking four puzzles, basically. So here are some actual cool dungeons, like old school Zelda dungeons, inside of this massive open world. So they can appease all the people who really want that, and then they can appease the silent majority or minority like me who are like, it was cool, but it's not fucking Zelda. So,
I think my biggest problem with E3 is just shit I've already played,
yeah.
like Danganronpa Decadence collection. Gonna get that. Life is Strange remastered. Gonna get that.
Hmm.
Like, obviously, I was
I
gonna
was.
get like True Colors too.
Hmm. Okay.
Like I said, I'm gonna get Life is Strange True Colors as well. Most of the stuff, like at E3, like is just stuff I already knew I was gonna get. I wanted to see stuff that was new. I already knew I was gonna get Stalker 2,
Yeah.
Heart of Chernobyl. I already like
Yeah.
nothing really stood out and actually impressed me.
Yeah.
But
That's my
I
thing.
did want to ask you, are you gonna watch like the Netflix Far Cry thing,
Uh,
the Captain Laserhawk?
probably not. Probably not. Let's be
Really?
honest. I
You
actually
like
didn't
Blood
even see the
Dragon?
trailer, so I might like if it pops up on the screen when I'm like searching for something to watch, maybe. But it's not like, ooh, yes, yes, I need it. But it's all right. Yeah, overall, just all of E3 was just so blah to me. Like, I know I get it. Everyone's gonna come in the comments or sit and stream and be like, "Oh, you're such a Sony fanboy. Sony wasn't there, so it's nothing for you." I just mean, I do enjoy Xbox games. I very much enjoy Nintendo games. Nintendo's my first console. I still have a Switch. I still have an Xbox. I still very much want to use those things. They're just not giving me shit. Like I'll might get Diamond and Pearl, one of the two, but those are some of the weaker titles for me. At least I remember. I was also a bit younger. Like I wasn't still in that phase of oh my god, Pokemon are so cool, so cool, and I wasn't old enough to be like like there was no online back then, so I wasn't like in competitive VGC and my friends they like collected them and we battled a little bit, but we weren't like competitive like as an adult playing Pokemon. So it was in that weird middle stage where I just got it because I remember liking Pokemon and it was fun to run through the stories and see what cool evolutions they have or dumb Pokemon they had. Just the next Pokemon I might as well play it. So I might grab it just to see if I was just a dumb kid and didn't realize it because a lot of people say it's one of the best Pokemon games. So I guess we'll see. So, but that we've had our time with Nintendo, so let's move on over to who is always the biggest disappointment, and that is Xbox
PlayStation.
and PlayStation. They're not there at all. Big disappointment. Everyone knew it, but I didn't think they were going to wait all the way till July to have their state of play, which is the last thing I heard. So who knows what they'll be showing because Horizon, they just had a big showcase, so hopefully this next one will show just a tiny bit more because I don't need any more selling. The first Horizon was good, this one's really pretty, give me a fucking date. And Ragnarok got pushed to next year, so at the moment it's Kena Bridge of Spirits and Horizon's all I'm really going to be looking forward to to play on my PlayStation. Oh, and Dying Light, but that's not a first party, so that'll come from, Techland whenever they have more to announce outside the fact that it came out. And I'm really disappointed because it's coming with a really, really, really fucking dope collector's edition with a really dope statue, but it's really fucking expensive, so I don't think I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's a cool statue. If it's, the typical 120 to 150 collector's edition, I might scoop it up. I haven't picked up a nice new statue in a bit. I haven't had a collector's edition. This one looks pretty dope. I'd like to get it. Yeah, I went on GameStop. That bitch is $250. I'm like, not that much. But backtrack. Xbox. Where you at, man? Where you at? Where's the games for me, man? Come on.
Age of Empires 4, a big win for every RTS fan. Uh,
For me.
anyone who actually enjoyed Age of Empires 2 is really good. I expect Age of Empires 4 to be good.
I don't like Age
I'm
of
not gonna
Empires.
play it.
I just said, or is it for me? The only thing they put out for me is, like, Forza looks dope. I mean, but Forza always looks dope. Like, oh my god, look at the colors, look at the ray trace, look at the water. I mean, it's an Xbox Series X. It better be fucking better than their last one that came out. Their last one was gorgeous. You thought this one was gonna come out like shit? Like,
Every Forza game always looks like one of the best games fucking out there. And then I'll roll my car like fucking 20 times and it'll look like the jankiest shit ever.
yeah, graphic wise, while they're moving in like slow motion, they're taking their nice shots. It looks like real cars going down the road. As soon as you actually start playing the game and you start spinning out or going over a hill, that immersion goes straight out the window.
That's why you always play in like that's why you don't play third person outside the car. You always just play the inside view of the car with the steering wheel and shit.
No, fuck that. Because then how am I supposed to see my pretty ass car? Fuck that. No, no, no. I'm not trying to look at a steering column. Go sit in my real car for that shit. And I always hated
That's
when it flips. It's always got, for the most part, that flat, just black bottom. Like, y'all really can't put some tailpipes and some metal shit. Like, no car's black on the bottom. Come on.
I think they recently been better with that, but it just I don't know. I like the inside view because it just reminds me of like the fucking PS2 days where I'd watch my older brother play fucking Need for Speed Underground 2 with the fucking PS2 steering wheel controller and like the fucking
Old
pedal.
school. Nice. Yeah, so Forza, it always looks good. I'm very excited for that. I'm not going to lie. Like, I might, like, subscribe to Game Pass for, like, a month or two and just have fun with Forza. And then not Xbox, just get the elephant out of the room. We all know it. I don't fucking like Halo. I haven't been interested in the story since Halo 3. I think they've been shit since Halo 3. And this one, they didn't really show much on the story. I mean, it looks
That's
like
not
more
an opinion
Halo.
that's gonna get you a lot of likes. Everyone loves Reach.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, it
Like
looks like it's a...
genuinely Reach is like everyone's favorite.
Yes, I know. And they're all crazy people.
I
But
think ODST is the best, but
I didn't... I just no.
ODST is still technically Halo 3, so
So, yeah, Halo didn't impress. It looks a lot better from what last time they showed it, so I'll commend them for that. It no longer looks like a 360 game, at least, as I said, from what they showed. And then, honestly, like, good for them saying that the multiplayer is free to play. But I mean, anyone whose primary console is an Xbox doesn't really care, nor does it help them that it's free to play because they are already subscribed to Game Pass. So I mean, I don't see what the big hype is. Like, the user rate for Xbox users to not have Game Pass at this point is exponentially low. So it's weird that they're going free to play. I mean, I guess for the PC market, so you don't have to have Game Pass on your PC to still play. Maybe. I mean, I guess
I
that's
am
the
in the
swing.
user rate that don't have it because I forgot to renew it because I haven't been on Xbox in a bit.
it's also not your primary console, nor is it mine. Like between your PS4, your PC, like
It used to
we
be though.
we used to
Yeah.
be. We like even me, like I've let mine lapse, but they're gonna shit for me. But other than that, like I guess that makes more sense now that I actually talk through it. That's cool. But it it really, really, really looks a lot like more so than I think ever does it look like Call of Duty with Spartans. And for me, I feel that that's a bad thing because it just brings it more in line to just being another shoot. Like it's always, shooter versus shooter, and it's just another one. But now it, at least from the looks of it, maybe the if I ever play it, which I doubt I will. Let's just be honest. Maybe it really does feel a lot more just Halo-y. Your Halo jumps, your floatiness, but from the way
Hey,
they were
it,
moving and
it
picking up
it's
stuff,
free. There's always a chance to be like, hey, I can at least sit down and try this. You're not. What do you got to lose? It's not your money.
my time bringing that Xbox all the way back down here to be played. Only time it's going to come down here to get played and plugged in is if something like comes out like legitimately good. So sadly, that means probably whatever Doom 3 is.
We know it's
Because
not going to be fucking Starfield.
because we know it's not going to be fucking Starfield. Oh my god. I was like, why would they allow Obsidian to make a big bombastic crazy space game if Bethesda proper is working on basically that. We all just assumed it would be Fallout and, Elder Scrolls in space. Sadly, it's exactly that to the degree that I think is even worse. People are super hyped, and I mean, it's not my aesthetic for space, so I mean, once again, this isn't my E3. Was it a good E3 for a lot of people and in general? Honestly, yeah. Xbox has a lot of shit lined up and looks good, but for me, I just nothing I give a shit about. But it's a realistic space game. Like it's more NASA aesthetic and not Star Wars and Mass Effect or even that of the Outer Worlds. I almost said Outer Rim. It's not bombastic at all. It looks like it's going to be a very much almost like space sim, but with the Bethesda twist. Role play. Oh, gotta get in my ship and fly to the planet and try to help people. I very much thought it was going to lean more towards the Elder Scroll side of things, more fantastical space opera, but it's more on the line of what looks like Fallout in space, where this faction wants to take over this planet, so you're going to help them, or you're going to go down to the planet and help the natives or the people who settled the planet because it was empty or whatever, and just the guy who set down the gun. It's a more realistic looking space gun. It looks like what a military gun's probably going to look like here in the next 20 years. A little holographic sight to let you know your ammo count, and all nice and white and very NASA-y. And
Just
so I'm
want to
gonna
say Call of Duty had guns in space first, so get fucked Starfield.
big facts. So I mean, that's not like the heavy hitter that's going to make me bring down my Xbox again.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of. I think there was a few other
I do
things that
have
looked good.
I have a few things that I'm like legitimately like interested in, but it's few and far between, and for weird reasons.
Yeah. Real quick though, a shadow hit that came out of the Xbox conference that I didn't even because I was it was my son's birthday party, so I didn't actually watch it live, so I just kind of watched highlights, and not even the few highlights from random various outlets, your IGNs, Game Ranks, Game Informer, yada yada, popped up, but Hades is coming in August to console, and I'm super excited. That's probably the biggest thing from E3 for me that I'll be playing, soon. I think it's like August, sometime in August, and it coming to PlayStation 2, like available on Xbox. I was like, did they really like sign in a thing with Xbox? Am I now really not gonna? And then no, it's just available on Xbox. And then when whatever trailer they just put off, just as Supergiant, also PS4, PS5, So very, very, very excited about that.
The that's something I noticed, but like not want to touch on because it's just another thing that's not fucking new.
True, true. I mean, but it's the biggest hype game of last year. I mean, everyone was talking about Hades. A lot of outlets gave it Game of the Year, and the renewal of liking roguelikes for me between Returnal and then getting back into Enter the Gungeon and really figuring out like how those games should be played and watching it a whole bunch last year. Like I'm really excited for it, but still, I get your point of it's not new by any means. Came out
The
last
only
year.
thing I have to look forward to this year now is the Game Awards at the end, where I will get my vengeance and win this year.
No, absolutely not. Your predictions will once again fall short and allow me to swoop in and take it because
Uh, as
that's
long as
how
they
it
don't
goes.
pull some shit like Phasmophobia winning over fucking Carrion.
They will.
I don't. I get why I was wrong with Microsoft Flight Simulator and the fucking game soundtrack. Sure, whatever. Listen to the same Final Fantasy music you fucking listened for the fucking years and years and years over goddamn Doom.
Big facts.
But
Big
fuck
facts.
Phasmophobia with the low effort bullshit.
Take Two didn't. Okay, let's roll into the things I really, really thought were gonna be there and weren't, which is very disturbing. Take Two didn't come out with a new Bioshock. Like there's a lot of rumors of that. That was nowhere to be seen. That was a disappointment. No new information about. I mean, I really wasn't expecting it, but I was really hoping they'd say something about Elder Scrolls. But the fact that Starfield isn't coming out till the end of next year, we're not going to be hearing anything about Elder Scrolls for a long time. I really thought Starfield was a lot closer to being out than literally
Be
November of
in
next year.
2025 Skyrim 2.
Basically, the probably biggest disappointment for me, honestly, that nothing showed up. I just assume because they have nothing to show at the moment. But the rumored NetherRealm Marvel game, like not even a teaser. Like WB was basically not there at all. We didn't see any more Gotham Knights. We didn't see anything more on the Harry Potter game. Nothing more on Suicide Squad. That it's time. Like NetherRealm is behind. Like I know COVID put everyone behind, but they've been really good. Like on track every 2 years. It's literally been Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was it X and then Injustice, or was it Injustice Mortal Kombat X? It was 9 Injustice, Mortal Kombat X, Injustice 2, and then yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. So we are literally like they every single one of them gets a year, about a year and a half of real development time. That first year is DLC characters, and for the first time in Mortal Kombat 11 DLC story, but a lot of DLC characters and balances because that's a fighting game. You got to balance. Drop a new character, fucks up the whole game. Everyone needs a good balance, and then a little bit more extra, like few back end characters, and then they just let people do whatever the fuck they want. If it's broken, it's broken. Have fun. We're done with the game. We're moving on to this, and we're dropping that. Blah 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 blah. So we're really, literally right there for what should be Injustice 3, which I'd even take that, but still, there's also that rumor of them doing a Marvel game. So either way, like, am I getting Injustice 3? Am I getting DC versus Marvel? Am I getting the Marvel version of Injustice? Just name something. Like NetherRealm's behind, but as I said, everybody's behind. That was a big disappointment. That's the biggest disappointment. And then what? Another same thing is where's the rumored XCOM Marvel game? The X Marvel characters in XCOM or what?
Where did Digimon survive?
Where's Digimon Survive? But for real, like if there's a place to do anything, like come on, man, I very much like that. Jim in chat here said if Starfield is anything like their last release, Fallout 76, it should do well. Dot dot dot. Funny. DC vs Marvel from NetherRealm would be amazing. It would, and then TGS Tokyo Game Show possibly. But for the NetherRealm game, I'm going to say a big no for the Tokyo Game Show. That is very much a European, North America, Europe centric fighting game. Like Japan doesn't. I mean, obviously there are some Japanese players and Asian players in general who very much enjoy. Oh, for Digimon TGS. Okay, yeah, okay, makes sense. But no, going back to that, there are people saying, "Oh, maybe we'll see it at TGS," but just no, because TGS is basically nothing but your ArcSys and and Capcom. Maybe SNK if they have something. Well, they do have something new to show. They're coming out with, then whatever the next Fatal Fury game is, or King of Fighters. Sorry, the next King of Fighters. I think it's 15 or 16. Either or. Is the big fighting game happening this year? It is. Evo is happening in August. They might show something there. Hope. I mean, that's the hope. Like, if they don't have anything to show at E3, I really hope they have it for Evo. But, I mean, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff I was hoping for. I can't remember whether or not Shin Megami Tensei 5 got a release date. I think it did. Now that I say that, I think it was sometime also in December. I want to say it was like December 7th or something. Or is that Dying Light 2? Really not sure. Anything you thought you would see or hoped to see that didn't show up?
Uh, well, obviously, I've mentioned how I was hoping for Fire Emblem news.
Yes, more
Uh,
Fire Emblem.
I mean, the Hyrule Warriors shit's neat, I guess. I'm probably not gonna buy it, but it's neat, I guess. I'm kind of over Age of Calamity.
Very well. Oh,
Fucking hoping for is Fire Emblem news because like I'm not paying attention to much on PlayStation or anything. Like there's stuff I've like 5 things I'm like basically excited for that I haven't mentioned yet. Like I've talked about how is I like Chernobyl, Stalker, the Life Strange stuff, Danganronpa, Decadence. Like just the I always come into these not besides like Fire Emblem, that's something I want. But I always come into these hoping to be like surprised. I want to see something that makes me go, yeah, I want that. Not uh like I hope these get announced. I don't like getting my hopes up. I want to be like surprised by what they have to offer,
okay.
which I was by a few things, which I do want to go into a little bit.
Yeah. 1 second. The work print said, I think the backlash to rushing a game Cyberpunk 2077 plus COVID development delays with companies switching over and redoing their workflows pushes a ton of announcements out to 2022. Look at how many games that were slated for 2021 that were announced that got pushed to 2022. I'd imagine games that were planned to be announced need more time in the cooker. Which I agree with and completely understand, and I don't want them to rush anything. It's just I'm surprised they said nothing. Like I get that they might not even have a trailer available, but if they're, I mean, it's always, gotta take it with a grain of salt, and we're not in the room with them, but with all the rumors going on, you would assume that Ed Boon / another one would just come out and say, hey, we are working on a Marvel fighting game, we don't have anything to show you at the moment because of COVID and working from home and yada yada. We can't show you anything, but just let you know, we are making it. We have been greenlit, but maybe they are still working on that deal because that is a WB owned company working with the enemy Disney's property. So maybe they're still untangling that web of red tape to work together. But but I definitely agree. Obviously, the whole world has gone to shit. Everything's backed up. It's only fair to say that it's a big thing of why most video games got pushed from this year to next. And yes, Jim, Historically, they don't, except for NetherRealm games. NetherRealm always gets the big woo with Mortal Kombat and Injustice because they are the big boys when it comes to fighting games. But the games you are excited for, Kwai, or the things
So,
that excited you. Yeah.
uh, the first one is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. That's out of fucking nowhere, and that's also later this month. I think like at the end of this month. So I'm getting that. I want to see what new they've added to this fucking the hottest phenomenon of fucking 2017. It's been that long.
All right, that's one.
The second thing is while I was, planning on getting Far Cry 6, it was probably gonna wait a bit. However, the Far Cry 6 villains I am really interested in.
Okay,
I think
that's the
they've
DLC they
always hit it
announced,
out of
right?
the park with the DLCs. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think they always hit it out of the park with the DLCs.
I can't hear you like at all
A
now.
Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline. No.
Well,
So
the
Watch Dogs
last
Legion
thing that was
Bloodline.
said was they did good on their DLCs, and then it was just quiet.
Oh,
Watch Dogs
yeah.
Bloodline.
So yeah, Far Cry has always done really fucking good.
Really
Done
fucking good.
great. Even if the games aren't always the best, I think the EA games always in the DLCs. So
Yeah.
then Watch Dogs Legion's Bloodline, which is some more Watch Dogs shit. I'm just gonna play it. That's fine. Dark Pictures anthology, something I already knew that was coming out, but it is still nice because it's just like I can't wait to see how fucking stupid that shit is.
Okay. I'm surprised.
But the last thing I was actually surprised about, Tiny Tina's Wonderland is something I'm definitely interested in getting because the Borderlands 2 DLC it's based off of is my favorite, a lot of people's favorite. So I'm definitely interested in Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
You know, I've never played a Borderlands like all the way through. I tried Borderlands 1 and I played it super duper late, and I can't slide. There's no crazy jump, yada yada, a bunch of me problems. So I never got into it, and then never played 3 just because
I
I
also never played 3.
I don't know what came out around the same time, but it caught my interest more than that. And then my friend Jim and Mike, like everyone I basically know who I game with besides you, was playing it and was saying nothing but good things. But by the time I was done doing whatever it is I was doing and ready to get into it, they were all done because they're all max level, 4 different characters all the way to the wazoo. And I really never played any of the others. Like I know you don't need to know the story, but it kind of helps. So always knew who Tiny. You hear about these games all the time, and Tiny Tina, and the fact that it's like a dark fantasy game and it's like a side project does interest me. So I might even get this one because this is like a full standalone game, right? It's not DLC 4 or 3. Like it's just
Yeah, it's a spin-off.
so. That does look interesting to me too. Not gonna lie. But what kicked into my head is I'm surprised nothing was announced from Kojima. Like his whole studio. Like he was on and
He
he's
did
like
have
really good friends
it,
with Jeff
they
Keighley.
I, he did do something.
Death Stranding DLC doesn't count.
No, not that. There was a
Wait, did I miss
one
something?
second.
I thought he just showed uh
He announced he announced a new game, and it won't be a sequel to Death Stranding, but he didn't give a lot of information. He was just teasing, he teased
oh
the
yeah.
project, and it's not named at the moment. So technically, there is something else.
Fair enough, I'll give you that, but speculation. I mean, I guess what speculation gets you is a bunch of disappointment because I was really, really, really hoping that Sony just said, balls to the wall, we have Kojima, here Konami, take our money, give us Silent Hill, and we'll give you however much you want so we can just get this game made. And that made me sad that's not a thing. I mean, that maybe that's the thing he's working on. Maybe they're still hashing out that deal, but I was just hoping for a bit more announcements. Like even on the Xbox side, I was hoping for a little more Perfect Dark. I was hoping to see some more of Hellblade. Cause yeah, that's Team
You know what's
Ninja.
funny?
Just
E3
nothing.
actually got me less excited for Back for Blood.
I didn't actually watch that gameplay. So what about that made you?
It's always online, and I hate the concept of always online shit.
So even if you're running a mission solo, it's just. I mean, I guess it has to be online to track your progress because just it's
It
it's
doesn't have to be though to track progress.
it doesn't. I mean, it could save it on your console, and then when you did go play with friends online, I guess it could upload it. There's an argument to
Because
be made on either side.
what annoys me about always online was like,
Venture
I
Beat and
guess
Jeff
for a
Grubb.
multiplayer game it'll make a little bit more sense, but they made the
I'm just reading a
Hitman.
comment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What annoys me is they made Hitman like 1, 2, and 3 always online. So if you're playing that shit online, you don't progress at all, and it's a single player game. So the idea of always online just still fucking annoys me.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't
Sure,
agree
it'll
with
make
it.
more sense in a multiplayer game,
Yeah, that's what I
but
was saying.
it still annoys me.
Fair enough. The work print. VentureBeat and Jeff Grubb did report that Kim Swift was hired to help with the Xbox Kojima game. And what's up, Quaggy? I think I do remember hearing about that on a kind of funny podcast. Oh, sorry, that's bright. About Kojima's next game being on Xbox, which is good. Whoever gives him money to make more games, do it, man. Make them. We need more crazy Kojimas in the world. Crazy
Hope that
Kojima
he'll
games.
get something good this time around.
Yeah, look, even Sony can do wrong in my eyes. A lot of people like that game. Death Stranding was, I can, I can't say that it's a bad game. I can't even say that I don't like it. It's just I hear a bunch of people I trust and kind of have similar game
I
taste
will say
play
it is
it.
bad, and I will say I don't like it.
Yes, quiet. We know, but
Yeah,
it's just
but
not my type of
you
game.
want to know what's good? Fire Emblem Three Houses.
No.
Give me more.
See, and I'll tell you the reverse. That Fire Emblem Three Houses is the worst Fire Emblem game, in my
I think
opinion.
that's probably one of the conquests, or either that's probably like Fire Emblem, like fuck, Conquest Revelations. That's the ones That's the one I dislike the most.
Fair enough. But yeah, I was just hoping for a little bit more. Hopefully Sony comes through and delivers some kind of good news.
I can't even
Hopefully,
say I disliked it that much. I still played it all the way through and I had a good time. So
hopefully, I'm not waiting until December to play Forbidden West. They have a few more little surprises. Like I said, even Sony's future's looking a bit dismal at the moment. By dismal, I mean just not much to play. Like I wholeheartedly believe Horizon's going to come out and be fantastic, but I mean, I guess that's what third parties are for. Like I still have Deathloop I'm looking forward to. Hades is now finally coming. Super duper excited about that. Kena Bridge of Spirits looks good. And then I got a bunch of backlog to do, along with mainstays that are always taking on my time too, between Call of Duty and Smite, and now Guilty Gear. Maybe even a little bit of Apex here and there. So I mean,
if any games are gonna get announced at Evo, it might be like that fucking Ruby game that Arc Systems is working on.
maybe
Like they might.
I doubt it, just because it's so close to Strive just coming out. I doubt that they would show anything. But you
You think
never
they're
know.
gonna do like Drive's first DLC character at Evo then?
Gameplay of them, yeah. Everyone they've already announced that they're doing at least three, and it's basically I haven't done it yet because that's not what I want out of my fighting game. If you don't know or didn't know, Arxis did something really weird in fighting game terms for their story mode. It is not playable. It is basically a 4-hour anime movie, which is cool. It's just I haven't had the time to sit and go through that. And apparently there are three like main characters. Like there's a main villain who's in the game and a few others that aren't on the roster. And they've already straight up said these three people are who are going to be the DLC. So I assume that at Evo they would show gameplay of the first DLC character because I don't know his name, but it's some weird dude. He's like all black, like literal black, like the color of like my table of a microphone. Like you think of actual black, like all over, and then he has like weird X sunglasses that are like green or something. I don't know. He's a really weird looking character. He has horns and
Can I
shit. He
just say
looks pretty cool.
how fucking weird that is? Like there's nothing in this fucking earth that can get me to sit down and do nothing for fucking 4 hours. I could play Fire Emblem Three Houses all day, but at least I'm fucking
Doing
playing
something.
something.
Yeah.
But like fucking I can't like fucking just sit down and watch it for like 4 hours a fucking day. Like I get like 2 episodes of fucking in the Trailer Park Boys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going back to video games, and this is just gonna be background noise.
Yeah, I'm basically the same. And no, Jim, I'm not saying like he's like the main character of the game is Soul Bad Guy and he's already in the game. I'm just saying like mainstay characters, like plot characters in the story mode, like one of the villains. He's a brand new character to the series as a whole, or at least in this version. And they just, I assume they ran out of time. Like, I'm pretty sure they still wanted more time with the game in general, but like they had the main cast ready, so they probably wrapped all that up, had the story done. We're like, shit, we got to push this game out. This guy's gonna have to get put on the back burner for DLC, and we'll worry about that shit later. Get the game out, type deal. Like I'm fairly sure these first two at least are characters they wanted just on the main roster and just ran themselves out of time. But yeah, I'm the same as you, Kwai. I can't. Like me and my wife are currently watching Supernatural, and just I think like after 3 episodes, I'm like, excuse me, all right, I gotta do something else. Go clean the kitchen,
That
play something.
Supernatural is
Just
gonna be fucking rough. Because when I was younger, I used to be able to like binge watch that shit, and I did. I've seen every episode of Supernatural multiple fucking times. Well, except the newer seasons, which I've only seen once. But like all the old seasons, I probably watched between season 1 and like 10, like 10 times itself.
yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. It's not hard to
But they're like
watch.
45 to like an hour long episodes, so that's
Yeah,
even worse
yeah,
than
that's
like
what gets me.
Trailer Park Boys.
So
Which I'm starting to realize, like, if I watch Trailer Park Boys high, I'd probably be able to sit there and stare at it for longer.
terrible, fucking terrible. But yeah, I mean that's really about this week. I mean, the E3 at the moment. Once again, I need to reiterate this: disappointing for me and for him. Like it just we
I think
not about
the
shit we
main
care about.
problem is because there's so much shit that got announced like last year that I'm still like waiting on shit for. Like all like the weird shit like there's still Goodbye Volcano High, there's still more that We Are OFK,
Yeah,
Road 96, Open Roads. Like there's a
yeah,
bunch of stuff I'm still interested in, but like I don't know what the fuck's going on with.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to assume, at least for like the words, the Goodbye Volcano High will probably be at whatever state of play is, just because that's where it was announced at Sony, and I actually think it might be a PlayStation. No, I thought they said it was coming to
It's on
PC.
it's on my Steam wish list.
So okay, so it might be like PlayStation and it might be a console exclusive, so they might have a deal with whatever next state of play they are for that. But it's still weird that there just wasn't a lot. Like as you said, it was a lot of shit we already knew about. There were just a handful of surprises. Like you said, it's a handful of surprises. Like for real. Like honestly, like a game I don't even care about was the biggest surprise that Dread got revived. Because I didn't even know this until I was listening to or I was watching something, IGN or something. But apparently Dread was supposed to come out like way back on like the Wii U or like even the DS. Like it was an old game that got scrapped and people have been asking and asking and asking about up until apparently like legitimately people just thought it was dead in like 2019 and no one reported or asked about, hey Nintendo, where's Metroid, Dread. And here we are like 2 years later and they're finally like, all right, well, here it actually is, it still is alive, and here it's for your Switch instead of our old dead console. So yeah, it had to be the Wii U because it was before the Switch was even released or announced. So yeah, so even that is technically just a revival of a really old fucking game, but still a surprise nonetheless. But no Bayonetta, no more Heroes 3, like nothing. Sad.
The only thing that legitimately I got hyped about is the one thing, and that's the Far Cry Villains DLC shit.
And that was cool.
The villains always like are my favorite part. Like Boss.
Like Voss.
Everyone loves him despite him only being like in the first few hours. Everyone loves him. So Joseph was cool in 5, and I don't remember what the guy's name is 4. But was he really a villain? I mean, he seemed like a pretty cool guy when you didn't fuck off.
I think it was Min, Pagan Min.
Yeah, either way, I'm just really looking forward to that. But that's it. Everything else I already knew what I was excited for. It's like I'm not gonna get any more fucking excited for shit. I'm already buying it. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of updates on shit that we're just gonna buy. So there's that. And I think that about wraps it up. I don't have really much else more to say except we're back next week. Hopefully.
Here's a question for everyone in the comments. What do you think's gonna come out first? Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 or Digimon Survive?
My money's on Masquerade. Because Digimon Survive is dead. That game is never coming out.
I think Masquerade has been delayed just as much, so.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just be real here. At this point, I would not be surprised if we got Half-Life 3 before either of those games.
How would I forget? Instead of really doing Bloodlines 2, there's a fucking Vampire the Masquerade's Battle Royale. And a bunch more visual novels for it. Like, please, just work on the one fucking game.
Yeah, but you don't...
Please.
They don't need to, drip feed us content to keep us interested. People are interested. They've been interested. Stop giving them bullshit and give them the real game, you sons of bitches. But that's it. We'll be back next week, hopefully. Can get back on track. And next week will be the topic we said we were going to talk about forever ago, and that is video game movies. How we feel about old ones, how we feel about ones still to come out, and what we'd like to see, and not just movies, but TV. Are we gonna
add like video game TV shows in there too?
Yes,
that give us a bit more.
I was literally just saying, and TV shows, whether it be anime or the Last of Us show coming out, and I think Resident Evil is getting a show too. Far Cry anime, a bunch of animes, Castlevania. We'll get into it. We're talking about video games in movie/TV media. So there is that. So I hope you had a good time. I hope we'll catch you next week. Deuces.